Okay, guys, we're coming out here. I say okay, guys, a lot, don't I? Okay, people. We're coming out here today to have a really important conversation about a really important topic, and that is imposter syndrome. What is imposter syndrome? Well, to make it short, imposter syndrome is the feeling that you don't belong. It is the manifestation of doubt that you don't have what it takes to get a job done, or the doubt and thinking that maybe you got to where you are simply because of luck. Can you guys hear the helicopter? I know it's windy, but there's like a military base right there, the Marine Corps base here, and they fly helicopters and ospreys all day, and it's going off right now, but I don't know if you can hear it. Hopefully not. Oh, the sun's here. Oh God, okay. Getting in the shade. Let's try and get real for a minute and talk about where imposter syndrome comes from, right? Maybe we can defeat it at the source. Well, imposter syndrome, this idea that you don't belong, usually stems from some amount of doubt that you might have creatively, professionally, academically, whatever. Maybe it's not just something as esoteric or simple as, I don't know how to multiply and it makes me feel inferior at my life in academia. Maybe it's something a little bit deeper, something that started a little bit earlier, like expectations that people set of you as a child, or kind of things that you were taught as you grew up. Like, oh, in order to be successful, you had to go on and get a college degree. Well, I think we've talked about this in previous videos. You do not need a college degree to be successful. You certainly don't need to go to graduate school to be successful. But if you do choose to pursue those things and you get in, that is, well, one, maybe due to systemic reasons, but two, mostly due to the fact that you deserve to be there. If you are a successful carpenter, it is because you are good at what you do and you don't need to worry about other people's expectations. The fact that you're there means that you are good at what you do, so you should feel good about it. We have talked a little bit about kind of where imposter syndrome comes from. But let's turn this around and let's try to be a little more positive and maybe a little proactive about what you can do when imposter syndrome does crop up. When I am having a really difficult time with imposter syndrome, when I don't feel like I belong, when I've just come out of a meeting, or sometimes when I'm even sitting in a meeting, and man, I just hear someone else talking and I feel like, why don't I know as much as that person knows? How can they possibly have been so successful this earlier in their career, and why can't I have that? When I have those thoughts, I go to one place, right here. This is a coral reef, and I am lucky because this coral reef is right behind our lab. If you can, I would really encourage you to go and find a place. It doesn't have to be a coral reef. It can be a physical place, it can be a mental place, it can be a food item, anything that you can go to and feel safe and empowered and kind of just rein back in control over your life and recognize that it's okay to feel how you feel, but it's not accurate. The important thing is how a setting like this makes you feel. It should make you feel comfortable and empowered and confident in yourself. So when you have a setting in mind, whatever it might be, go there. And if it's not readily accessible to you at the moment that you're really kind of feeling down, go there mentally. If you're in the middle of a meeting and just kind of feeling like shit, go there mentally. Remind yourself of what it's like, in my case, for example, to go snorkel on a coral reef and to see the organisms that you know so well, and to just think to yourself, you know what? I got this. It's okay. I don't need to be an expert in the topic that we're talking about in this given meeting, but I am an expert in something, and that's something to be proud about. You remember how just a moment ago I told you that those military jets fly over all day? Yeah. You know, maybe I was overstating the problem. Maybe it just doesn't happen that often. You know, this is YouTube. I could just be lying right to your face, and maybe it's just like a every once in a while thing. Totally. Or maybe it really is like an every 10 minutes thing during most weekdays. Hello. Okay, so they're starting more and more like military drills here. Happens from time to time, but it means it is time to wrap up this video. Maybe it'll actually be a short video on this channel, which seems impossible. But let's talk about the number 2 thing that you can do to combat imposter syndrome. And you're gonna think I'm being like a little cheeky here because it's actually really, really simple. And that is to just talk to people. Everybody's experiencing imposter syndrome. You are not alone in how you feel. Last week, I felt like reading this statistics textbook for a class that I had no idea what I was doing, and that what the hell am I doing in graduate school? When in reality, when I reached out and I talked to another graduate student, I learned that my entire class was feeling the exact same way. So the message here is to reach out and talk to people, because I promise you, chances are they are feeling exactly how you feel. And hearing that other people are struggling just like you might feel like you're struggling is going to help you realize that you are not struggling at all in the grand scheme of things, that you are progressing just fine in your graduate education or in your professional career. So don't stress, just talk to people. If everybody doesn't belong, then everybody belongs. So we're gonna finish exactly how we started. Let me adjust you. There you go. That's a little better at least. If you are experiencing imposter syndrome, I hope you really will kind of take what we've talked about today. Apply these 2 tools to diminish it or get rid of it altogether. Number 1 is to go to a place where you feel at home and confident, because the reality is you are good at what you do, and going to a place where you feel that way will remind you in the difficult moments, oh no, wait, I am good at what I do, I'm just not an expert in this field in particular. And that's totally okay. That is the process of learning. No one is an expert in everything. And tool number 2 is to just talk to people. If you talk to people, you're gonna realize that everyone else is also dealing with imposter syndrome. That doesn't mean in any way that you shouldn't be trying to address and diminish your own kind of symptoms of imposter syndrome. But what it does mean is that you are not necessarily unique in your suffering, and you can really easily build a support network with other people who are feeling the same way. And bonus points, if you talk to someone else about imposter syndrome, chances are they're experiencing it too, and you're going to make them feel better as well. So if you won't talk to someone else about imposter syndrome for your own benefit, at the very least, go and talk to them about imposter syndrome, because you'll probably be benefiting them as well. Everybody, every now and then, needs a reminder that they are good enough, that they belong where they are, and I hope that this video has served to remind you of that as well. I will see you guys next time. See ya. Now I just need to get rid of all these mosquitoes. There's so many mosquitoes here, it is insane. I am scratching my knees furiously, getting bitten everywhere, and I'm allergic.